Howdy from the bodysmith. Today we are looking at inner firewall, and I have to stop and go dig the top. Okay, there's a semi-gloss finish. Beautiful. Roof looks great. We haven't put in seam sealer yet, so we had some black come out. It was coming out through the drip rails, and it's supposed to, because we don't have seam sealer in there yet. So I had to wipe a bunch of that down. So we're going to do inner firewall, outer firewall, get this ready to paint, because we are getting ready to paint. Now, there's our scoop that needs to be sanded with 400 grit, and then that can be installed on the car. Just a lid to do after that for him, but yeah, this is well on our way now. It's kind of cool. This is not fun stuff. What we're trying to do is not make stuff straight. We're trying to make stuff smooth because it's a firewall. It's all getting covered by upholstery and electronics and air conditioning, you name it. So we're just gonna go ahead and sand on this right now and try to get over the stunning upset of our two hockey teams. So I guess we will bury ourselves in our work. And here we go. This is more of about making it smooth, not straight. We don't want any kinks or anything like that. But the factory had all kinds of bends and warbles in it, and bumps, and so we're getting rid of a lot of it and trying to make it smooth, and it's going to be shiny. So just more of this patient sanding. Whoop. Isn't that better? Okay. You know, I think I'm going to get some 40 grit and do the first pass with 40. And I might even try to find better fitting. Okay, this air fitting's leaking. Sometimes how to figure out pricing seems a little weird. I was out and about, wasn't near my normal supplier, and I stopped in to buy some 40 grit, 6-inch. Dropped into a store, who shall remain unnamed. They had 5 in a package. 36 freaking dollars. That's more per sheet than the 8-inch, and these are actually good quality. So, kind of annoyed me. You have to pay attention when you buy materials. It's always like you're in a battle, and you got to be careful. So, I'm cutting down, I'm using a razor blade to cut down an 8-inch. Now these aren't cheap either, but apparently they're cheaper than crappy 6-inch. Wow. And I suppose what you would normally do is go find your scissors, which I went to do, but I can't find them. Because for taking down all this glass here, it's pretty coarse, and I figured I can save materials. Using 80 grit, I was going through it pretty quick. So we'll go down to 40 grit. Next time I'll get my scissors. Wow. Okay. I'm not bitter at all about us losing the game. The ladies played yesterday or day before. The guys played very early this morning. Both have excellent teams. And naturally they played excellent teams. Doesn't matter that it's still alright for me to be bitter and twisted about it. Okay. Nice, eh? So, we'll turn this around. And we're going to try cleaning this up with the 40 grit. And then we'll have to go back over with the other one. So that's going way quicker. We will mask off this line here. Make it the seam sealer. The factory was pretty messy. We're going to do a little nicer job than that. This is going with 40 grit, then we'll switch up to 80. And I believe when I paint under the dash white, I'm going to paint this. It'll just act like primer, right? Instead of priming it, hit it with some of the plastic I'm putting under the dash, which is a white Endura. And then I can lightly scuff it, and that'll act as my primer. So it'll get epoxy first, and then some polyurethane enamel. I did it. It's not real exciting, but it's all part of it. That's the thing. Building cars, so much of it that isn't exciting. Okay, so I've made this smooth, not flat. I'm going to change my paper, go to a finer grit. And you can refine it as much as you want. You know, all this body work is done here. That's why when I paint white under here, I'm gonna epoxy, paint white, and I'm gonna paint white here that'll act like a coat of primer to make sure that it's precise. You gotta prime it anyhow, might as well use some paint. We use sand. I'll explain more as I'm actually doing that process. So you go, yeah, okay, it kind of makes sense. So I can switch up my sandpaper now. Oh, actually, I'm going to flip the car on its side and do some on the floor. Well, I have 40 grit on. I should have my polar bear mat out here on my knees. Go through a lot of paper sanding this stuff. This is the only time you really see me use an orbital. The DA, if you will, dual action. So, just carry on, each one. And a lot of this is all covered. Kind of hard to say which, doesn't matter. It's got to be pretty. Wow, here's something just came to me. I gotta look this up. Throughout this, we had the body on the frame, and Lyle has a custom fuel tank, and the fuel door is up there. And I believe this is in the way. I'm just going to look up the message I got from Lyle. He was good enough to take a measurement while the tank's in the frame, measuring from a body mount. And this is critical. So let's see the measurement he came up with. And here it is. Okay. So, you see the fuel door, or the fuel neck coming out of the tank? It comes, and where is that measurement? It comes out exactly 15 inches. 15 inches from the body mount, which is right here. Right? Now we know that. So, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go grab a tape measure and come right back. Okay. So what we have here, that's the body mount, 15 inches, right there. So that tank is shooting straight toward it. And that's about 2.5. So what I want to do is carry this on, right? So I'm actually going to trim this right out, and then I'm going to put a new edge just to stiffen this, and that means this can come out and go straight up because we're 15 inches from the center of that hole, which is right there, which is here. In fact, it would be really foolish to cut it close. So we're going to do that. Okay, so I'll zip cut that out right now, and then I'll cut a piece and put an edge on it. And it's just another one of the little jobs that you cannot miss. Okay. I often say we need to educate our client. Great having somebody like Lyle as a client, and I have a few like that, because they know the problems you can run into. So I'm going to trim this off right now. Go. Okay. Yeah, that's 16 gauge anyhow, if not a little more. So now I'm just going to put an edge on it, and I'm going to grind this off, so nobody like me gets hurt. Now I'll get a grinder and clean up the edges on that. Okay, well, I'm going to go find some steel, get set up to weld this, and I'll come back in a minute. Okay, we have some appropriate steel here. We are ready to weld it. Here we go. I'm going to grind that up just a little bit higher. It can always be better. It's all right, but I mean, we got to make sure we have lots of room for the fuel hose. Excellent. And the piece we're putting in there, I set it down. Oh boy. Where's the fluid? Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's see if we're close. We're close. And there we have it. Okay. And weld it before it gets warm. It burns off my fingies. It's getting hot. Getting hot. Maybe I want to grind that a little bit. I got to tap this a little bit more flush. Not as flush as I want it. There we go. It was just that easy. Okay. And I gotta get my hammer just to tap that down around the corner. And I'm gonna have to cut it off a little bit too. Let's see how it does. Yeah, that's heavy. Hammer time. Okay, it's a little bit in here. It's kind of interesting watching the Olympics games. Any kind of hockey. I don't watch it much anymore. I used to play a bit. We had coaches like Brent Quist, Kevin Mooney, another guy who went on, apparently did pretty well. A guy we called Hitch. Played for a guy named Ken Hitchcock for a couple of years. I was 15, 16. I heard he went on and did some really good things actually in the hockey world. I haven't really talked to him since. Yeah. Wow. This is tough. Hey. Sun gun. Okay. Cool. So we just weld the top. I think that's pretty good. Move over here and try to weld it. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to grind that now. It's not very pretty. It's quite functional, but we'll try to make it a little bit prettier than that. So, before anyone sees it, I'm going to get the grinder out. Yeah! Grind it smooth. Okay, so I'm going to do a whole bunch of more grinding, some spot welds, cleaning up underneath. We got that cleaned up nicely. So we carry on and get it ready so that we can just epoxy and top coat it with whatever we come to the conclusion we should use. All right, cheers. Hey there, we are on the bottom side of the car now. And this never ends until you go, that's excellent. So, what I'm doing now is grinding down little areas. There's some little areas like down here where I welded in a panel. I want to grind the back side of that now. Clean it up. There's no area that you can say doesn't really matter. Okay, well, I'm going to start up here. I have some grinding to do in here and around there. Carry on grinding, doing the final finish. Okay, and just a little bit more down here. Change this up. Well, I think pretty much have everything. I've drilled up the hole, even though it's just a skip of filler. There's a little bit of filler. So I've got to clean up those holes. I got to make a pattern for the Nomad plate that goes on the inner quarter up there. Take it down there and put it on the new quarter I made down there. So for now, it's been a whole lot of sanding and grinding. I didn't bore you with all the details, but there's quite a bit there. So we're getting close. We're going to put box liner underneath here. So I may just do that today. I'm going to take off this pinion snubber, whatever you want to call it. That's just rubber that'll get replaced. So there's lots of hand scuffing. Anyhow, that's mission accomplished almost. Okay, I'm going to flip this upside down so you can pull the lifters out.
Yeah, there's your other one.
So she said that's the next thing to do. Because she's going to pull the cam. Ah. Ah. What? Yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll see. Where's my pliers? You just want to pull them out now. These are crappy.
So we don't have to keep track of what order they're coming out.
Well, no, because we're going to put new ones in.
Okay, so we should save them.
There's a lifter. And that's where the cam pushes on that surface. Now, I'm pretty sure the guy who had this motor before us had done this, but I'm not sure. And it doesn't matter. I understand you're putting a big lumpy cam in it, so it sounds cool.
Well, we thought about it. We haven't.
Oh, you want this over there?
What?
Sorry. I'm stepping on your toes.
No, that's okay.
You're okay. I'll find some paper towel to put in your shelf there.
I got just normal stuff.
Of course. I can't find the paper towel.
So we don't need to keep track of them.
No, we're not going to, because we're putting in new ones.
Do we look at any of them for wear?
Nope. Nope, we're replacing them. We're replacing the cam, so none of this matters. I was told the previous owner had done the cam and lifters, so they're probably pretty good, but we don't know that. And seeing you're taking everything apart, and you want it to be lumpier, there you go.
Okay.
So, okay. But generally when you take them apart, you have a piece of cardboard and you keep your push rods all numbered where they came out of and put them back, and same with the valves, everything. I gotta go talk to Fred about those heads too. In fact, that's something I could call on today. Find out how he's making out. He's upgrading to aluminum heads, so he's gonna sell Lou the ones he took off that are fairly new. All right. And we haven't taken the frost plugs out.
Do we need to?
Well, not really. If they've been in there for 40 years, yes, but we'll see.
Since we're not keeping these in order,
Right.
probably could just throw them in the garbage.
And we just found out, Lyle, well, we have the Grand Prairie Car Show indoors coming up.
There. Now they can.
Anyhow, Lyle's bringing up a really cool truck we worked on years ago. And I'm going to say, oh my word, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe 14, not sure. So looking forward to that. That'll be at the car show where they have the Wet No Way fella Sean showing up. Hopefully his wife too. She's pretty cool.
She's fun.
So.
Might need a littler.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just a set of needle nose, maybe.
I'm having a hard
Oh, I'm
time
getting one.
finding my tools.
And then we can get your dad over here to show me how to deglaze the cylinders.
Oh, wait.
If I still had my fingernails, I could probably get that out of there. Oh, got it.
You did?
Oh, no, keep sliding back down.
Oh, you dirty. Okay. I'm supposed to be painting under Lyle's dash. I'm trying to stay clean.
I'm not. Okay.
Typical mechanics, eh?
I do have a pair of coveralls somewhere, but I'm not sure where.
What's that, West Block?
Westway.
Westway.
That was the
What's
hotel
Westway?
in Cochrane in Ontario.
Oh, they were so cool, yes.
Because we stayed there when Jason was broke down.
That's
They
where they had
gave
the
me-
polar bears in
Yes,
Cochrane.
they gave me a hoodie.
Nice.
So hopefully I don't get grease on it.
No,
I should have
that's
thought
right.
of that.
That's right. Okay, so
So now
what's your
we-
next move?
So now we flip it back over, thread in a big bolt of some kind into the
Okay.
end of the cam.
Might not have to flip it over, but.
Oh, probably not.
So what kind of bolt is that? Quarter inch?
That's,
95/16. Will that fit in? Or is that too small?
uh, no, it fits.
Okay.
So then
You can try to grab it with these just to get it moving.
how far in do you go with that? I mean, it's in quite a way.
Usually you go about the thickness of a nut. Because then you know you're not gonna tear out a thread if you're only in one turn or turn and a half. So, I could turn it upside down so you can watch the cam as you pull it out, I guess. Maybe that would make more sense. Yeah. Be that right all the time. Okay, I can hold the camera. My flashlight.
I have, no, the big light won't shine in there. Your flashlight's dead or is it?
No, should be all right.
Oh, jeez.
Ooh, it is
Do not
right.
shine it at your eyes.
Okay, there's the cam. So,
So now you just start twisting, is that?
you just give it a little pull. It should just come right out. Okay, now you want to be gentle. I mean, it's not that critical. We are changing everything. But you don't want to... Oh, there's the push rod for the fuel pump right at the front
Oh,
is down. So I'm going to get a screwdriver and hold that up.
okay, which, where
You
is it?
see, it's a rod that goes here to operate the fuel pump. So I can probably hold that up. I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver. There's one. Okay.
Okay, so I didn't think it would come out that easy, actually. I thought it would be,
I'd hate to do that right all the time.
obviously I wasn't, since I drug it out of there.
Okay.
Okay,
Now I have to. Yep. A little of this, a little of that.
oh, so what are we clunking
Just
on?
keep coming while you're hitting different lobes.
There we go, okay.
And so every time you get to one of the main bearing sections, it's passing through a bushing, right?
Well, the guy on YouTube just like ripped it right out.
If you were really going to be tough, you could try to pick it up from your end and just pull it straight out.
But it doesn't want to do that.
Well, it would, but you don't. Turning it isn't necessary.
Okay, so what are we jammed on?
Just you got to go up because this is sitting
Something's in
down.
my way.
Yeah. Now, if I could let go, okay, I'll let go of that. Now you're gonna have trouble. But if I pick this end up, there. Oh. Wow. Okay, so we're just about to slide into the next bearing with this shoulder here.
Okay.
So it's a perfect fit, right? So you just have to finesse it, convince it to go in.
So I probably
think
don't need this.
Turning it a little bit would be helpful.
Okay.
Is you try to finesse it in. So turn it a bit and pull it forward.
I have it jammed on something.
Yeah, I'm surprised. It should just slide straight forward, and then when you get to the next one, same idea. It's just got to get into the next bushing. And there's some motors where the bushings get progressively larger as you go forward, which makes this very easy. This isn't one of those.
Right there, I keep getting jammed on something.
Okay. Well, I may have to put down the camera just to hold things for you. Okay. Now, let's see where you're holding that up. Okay. I should have just put a screw in the front here to hold it up. Hey, so you got that held up. Just a tight fit. And every time we get to one of those, it'll do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so the front you can see, there you go. Yeah. Same idea. It's right on the front here now, right? So it's just got to convince it to go through there. Yeah. Turn.
Tap that.
Oh yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Okay. Now that is the piece. The height of these lobes make the valves open or close, open farther, a
Now
greater
we're supposed
lift.
to examine this.
Well, a guy who was really smart about cams could. I'm just going, let's put in a new one. Oh, battery's getting low. The lobes, these the high spots. When they wear down,
Yep.
that's when your valves don't open high enough anymore.
So,
So when someone says, you know,
so the color discoloring on this?
well, it's got a little bit of wear, but not very much. So, I mean, I don't see anything, again, I'm not really educated in the ways of cams, and they're science totally on their own. I don't see anything bad. We could totally reuse that, I'm sure, I'm guessing, but we're gonna get something a little lumpier that goes womp, 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 womp.
Unless we just use this, but, okay, so now we have to clean this all up so we can deglaze the cylinders.
Well,
right?
that's right. We got to get Dad's drill and honing equipment and get him over here to advise us so that we can deglaze the cylinders. Right now they have a little bit of a shine to them. So we're going to hone them a bit, remeasure as Scott suggested. Oh yeah, there's the light going down on them. So for now, we're going to clean things up.
Wait for
And we'll
that.
clean the outside of the block and all the rest of it, and then decide, do we paint it body color or orange? Not sure yet. Anyhow, Dad's out driving in a blizzard somewhere.
So I will clean it up. And we have to pull those bearings off? This, what do they call it?
Yeah, the
Sleeves?
bearing shells.
Shells.
Yeah.
Okay. Any
Pop
gentle
them
way
out.
to, you just,
Well, yeah. Anytime I play with those, I'm either using a plastic screwdriver.
oh,
Like, I don't want to hurt anything. So you tap it like that. But I don't really want to use metal. You know?
okay. So are we saving these so we can see?
I save them just so we can read them to make sure
Okay, so
they're all
I'm-
the same.
So what number was that one you,
Oh, that was the second.
so that goes there.
I just want to see what they tell us on the back. That looks like 010 written on, where is that? Can you see that? There. 010. So that's been machined 10 under. What's number 1? It doesn't matter, we're putting in new ones.
Yeah, but it's nice to see,
But it's good practice.
nice to see what's coming out of it too, right?
Oops.
Okay, so what do I use to clean inside here? To scrub it all down? Parts cleaner, but
Yeah, well, we want to clean out the cylinders before we put stones in there.
yeah.
So I mean, we
how
can
do you
use
do
some of that stuff I picked up the other day, that lubricant.
that? Okay. And I will clean up the rest of this.
Yeah, I would clean this off with a razor blade. I think we have a blade holder. Get rid of the rest of the gasket material. I suppose you could undo this bolt that holds the block heater in.
Okay.
Might as well take that out. I'm debating. Yeah, we might as well change the frost plugs just because. Okay, let's see if this works. Yep. Whoop. Uh-oh. Should have been a little more careful.
Finessing?
I mean, that's the worst possible thing. Usually you hit one side and it goes like that, right?
Yeah.
You can't have that floating around inside the block because it'll block off a galley and your motor will fail. So
Can you
there's a
go?
right way and a wrong way. This is the wrong way. Just wanted you to see that. There. Ta-da! So,
It needs to be cleaned up in there?
yes, we'll be cleaning all that up.
Okay.
You know, I wanted to see what these were like. Sometimes I've actually had them get a rust hole in them. And these are in excellent shape, so they've been replaced, I would say.
I would say we can't reuse that one.
No, and I would still say,
Pull the
what the
rest
heck
of
at
them
this
out?
stage, just yank them out. So you can knock them out, Lou. And take out the block heater and save the block heater, because it's probably good. You guys don't use a lot of them in Texas or Australia or New Zealand probably even. But I think I'm going to put it back in.
Okay, I see that.
And that's probably what, a 5/16? Okay, am I stepping on your toes again?
No, no.
It's just, this is fun stuff.
I just figured I got the floors cleaned up, so
Let's mess them up again.
now I can, now there's room. You can pull a car, do your stuff you need to do, and
Well, yeah, right now,
I'm out of the way.
I'm just going to mask off the inside of Lyle's roof so I can paint the dash inside, outside, and probably firewall as well. And then we're probably going to go with box liner underneath the vehicle, but I'll do that after I get this particular job done. Oops, sorry, I'm taking your tools. So, actually,
He just can't help himself.
I can't, and I should.
I should probably go mask a car for you.
No, I'll go do my job, you do your job. Wow, why is that so tough? Usually, I don't have that much difficulty. Anyhow, we'll keep going. I don't want it to fall right off in there. Okay, there's a block heater. That's the heating element.
Really?
Your cord plugs onto that, and you plug it into the wall. And again, the heater core block heater looks fine. What matters, the O-ring, there's a black O-ring here that seals it off. And also, these can rust out. Anyhow, this looks to be in terrific shape.
Oh, and my new trolley set up.
And the only problem is I lost the piece that came off the inside. And that's what I was worried about. And now we can see with good reason.
So is it still inside?
Yeah, but we'll be flipping this block around. And I'll be able to get that out.
Okay.
So I'll stay away so you can carry on.
No, that's okay.
All right. I'm going to get Lou to give me a hand here. Because we need to mask up this car. So I want to cover, well, I want to show you. Look at the roof, the inside. Came out beautifully. So I don't want that to get messed up. Okay, Lou. You grab the plastic at the front. Now, this is one of the only times I've ever used plastic because we're just painting under the dash. We're going right over the roof, over top. It's almost like you're vertically challenged.
I am rather short. There.
Whoops, we're gonna cut up here. Okay. Oh. Okay. Thank you.
That one was so hard.
No. What I might get you to do is I'm going to go grab some tape.
Okay.
If you can take this, go to the far side, and push the plastic across to me, and maybe we'll set this up right. Yeah, I just got to go get some tape, Lou.
Okay.
Okay. It was a really neat idea.
There's lots down here that you can come in the back window and go up.
Yeah. Okay. All right, well, I will carry on masking this up so we can take the dash. Okay. Pretty sure that's what Check Boost does it. Okay. So, we're going through a lot of effort. If you look inside the door, all we're really painting is up under here. Right? And then we're going to epoxy and paint the outside of the dash. I don't have to slow down and mask all that separately. We're going to paint down to about here with epoxy and polyurethane enamel. Then we're going to paint the outside of the firewall so it's all sealed up. Then after that, I can see any issues I have. I don't have to prime it and sand it. And primer's so boring. Paint is so much more exciting. So this will have paint on it. Then I can clean that up before we paint it with root beer. So there's a bit of a pain in the butt here masking this up, but we'll get that done. Put a bit of seam sealer on stuff and get some painting done today because I think I only have about a week before Lyle gets back. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not perfectly flat. It has to be in just a hair. Otherwise,
I don't know how to use it.
well, how do you know where?
Well, not on a block. Sure. What if I slip?
It's not like it's your fault, but it's mine. So if you slip, you just move something. So,
Okay. Well, I need safety box.
you do. I'll lend you mine.
Oh, here's a pair.
Okay. Good. I will carry on masking. How'd that go? Beautiful. Yeah.
Try and get some of the paint off.
Yep. Well, yeah, you're trying to clean the gap material off, you know. So, and then, yeah, after we get it honed, deglazed, we'll worry about the rear frost plug. We'll wait till we get some. And then we have to pull the bushings, the bearings, from the camshaft area.
Oh, how do you do that? Just reach in and start.
Yeah, you can see here, they're very thin, right?
Okay. Is it all one piece?
Yes, it is. It's a solid ring, and that's where we're going to have to get a tool for installing those. Now you can do it without having the fancy tool, but it's delicate. And one little nick in those things and you've ruined it, and maybe your cam.
So where does, you said there was, oh, I just pushed it all the way in now.
What? What all the way in?
The bar that was hanging down there.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. That's for the
This
fuel
is
pump.
coming off?
Yes,
This
because
piece?
we'll need to replace the gasket underneath it. And that looks like 7/16.
You had, I thought you had one out.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't put it away.
I probably hid it somewhere.
Clean.
Hey, I will carry on with my masking.
Okay.
That whole piece, and there's that rod.
And this is our,
So there's the fuel pump rod,
oh, okay.
right?
And that goes with this then. And so everything's together.
Okie dokie.
And then we'll just
Clean that up,
clean that up.
and then we're pretty much ready for Dad to come over and,
Yeah, deglaze.
yes.
Cool.
So,
Then we can get the motor stuff ordered,
right.
and then we can get it out of your way.
Because as Scott said, we deglaze it and remeasure it just to make sure, but now we know how. So,
So he's not coming in to help us measure?
I was supposed to pay attention, and I think I did. And then Dad's got his gauges over there that we haven't used yet.
Yes, because it's not your birthday yet, so you don't get your one you slide in and.
No.
That's the digital one.
That's right. All right, we have seam sealer to do. There's many different types. They're all good. The one I'm using, basically you need it to skin over before you can top coat it. So, I'm just putting some in here. There's a few areas that, just to make it look a little better, make sure I'm going to seam seal the outside. So I'm just doing this is some, whoa. This is a little difficult. So I would use a brush to smooth it out. Now a lot of this, yeah, basically using a brush, usually only a 1 inch, will give it the factory appearance. And this, no one's ever going to see. What we really want is we're trying to seal these seams. Now on the outside, when I put it on, I'm going to get a little fancier with my application. I'm going to use masking tape. And I don't think he needs to pay me to make super clean edges and all this down here. But the outside, which would be engine bay, is going to be beautiful. There's brushable seam sealer. There's this stuff. Now what you don't want really is something that gets super brittle and can crack off. If you look at the factory stuff, what they do, I mean, I'm not going to do these big seams just yet. We're going to do the whole whole floor. But for now, I just want to get a few of these seams where I added pieces in. And you worry, okay, do I have a pinhole I'm not aware of? I don't think so. This all looks good. So I'll go around to the other side and do some there. Yeah, there is just some very small seams. Yeah. And it stays very flat, so it doesn't give the upholstery dude any difficulties. And you're just trying to make sure water can't get in underneath your rug, things like that. So I'm gonna leave the rest of this for now and just get the two sides. They have two-part seam sealer. So like for the drip rails, I'll probably use a two-part sealer. Now it flows out, lays perfectly smooth, which is nice. And it's a catalyst. Now the drip rails, that's very important. Any water leaks in there, it can get under your headliner. And that's a disaster. So you can, in some instances, I would insist on epoxying first. Say I had some old metal that was rusty. This is all brand new metal. And you can seal, put sealant right over bare metal. And that's generally what the factory did. And it's still hanging in there 60 years later. But just for fun, I will put epoxy on these other seams before I fill them with the seam sealer. And again, this is all brand new here. I'm not putting much on there. You can see that. Okay, there we have it. That's all I have to worry about for right now, but there will be extensive, very neat and tidy seam sealer work going on when we do the outer firewall and we do these floor pans. And I'll show you about that when I get to it. Okay, we're priming and painting there, there, and there, and there. So, gonna go out, mix up our epoxy. We're gonna do that right now. Now, I've probably explained this enough times, but it's all real important. We have, it looks like, decided we're gonna go with a Dynamat type material on the floor. So I will still epoxy it. Okay, we're going to be putting Dynamat type of coating, sound deadening, heat insulation on the inside of the body. So we'll do that. I'm still going to do the epoxy and box liner underneath the floor and inside the floor. And then I'm going to paint in the sides, inside the body color. So we'll be doing all that. And that'll be a bit of an effort, lots of masking, because we don't want to screw up what we're doing right now. We generally will paint the small areas first. You can see my shirt. There, so now, yeah, so we're going to do under the dust, all that stuff. Then we're going to sand down the firewall and get it ready for black, but I can't do that till I'm done with the rest of the body, because then I gotta unbolt the body off the rotisserie so I can paint that firewall. Ooh. Wow. Guess I had to put my gloves on. Takes a bit. I have a little bit of an overkill on my mixer, but that's all right. I'll go get some cups. Okay, I'll get my paint set up here. Give it epoxy. We give it 1 coat. You can give it 2 if you like. Don't think it's necessary. I also got to go get my strainers. I'm going to just shut that off for a bit and get a little better organized. This particular epoxy is 2 to 1. So I shall pour it in here. Okay. And then, where are we at here? We do try to be very accurate. So, we're at 10. So we take it up to 15. Okay. I'm presuming I don't need any more. I'm going to put the lid on this. Because sometime when I was sleeping, this went up to $500 freaking a gallon, sorry. Okay. So I've got everything swept up, blowing off, wiped down. I shut off the fan for a bit. So I'm gonna go turn the fan on, get my mask. Let the booth stabilize a little. Then we're gonna go spray on the epoxy. And immediately after that, we'll go find our polyurethane enamel and mix that up. So I'll come back in a minute when I'm ready to shoot. Okay, so here we are. There's a nice fan. Don't have to worry about flow out too much in this particular case. But I'm going to put the mask on and we'll start epoxy sealing all this. I'm going to mix just a little bit more. Okay, that's sealed. All right, so I'm painting paint under the dash. I've said that 40 times, I know. What I'm trying to explain is, imagine the inside of this fender. Now, if I had that all ready and I primed it, and then I had to sand it down, it'd be really dusty, and it would work. It would take a lot of time. Now, imagine I have that strips of the metal, and then I paint it. Now, if I want to top coat it, I can lightly scuff it with Scotch-Brite. Lightly sand it. I can also see any imperfections much easier. So when I'm doing the outside of this dash in Lyle's car, it's because I don't want to prime it and have to make a whole bunch of dust looking for imperfections. I'm going to put paint on it because I've epoxied it. There wasn't really any imperfections. So I'm just going to have to sand it, have a good look at it. It'll be very quick. We'll save time. Polyurethane is an incredibly tough paint. Nothing's going to touch it. This is Endura. And this paint was designed, as far as I understand it, in Alberta for the oil patch. And it has an amazing ability to repel all chemicals that want to attack it. So if you want to put this on your big truck or your oil tanker or anything, that paint's going to stay shiny. It's, you want to wear a mask. If you get it on your hands, you know, my dad was spraying some of this years ago, and he said, hey, what's going to take that off my hands? And I said, ooh, about 2 weeks. And that's what it takes. So it's a great product. We're putting that on the outside of the firewall and the dash, so I can lightly sand it easily, see any imperfections, and carry on. I'm not going to show you the rigmarole of actual spraying this stuff. I will show you once it's sprayed. Now there's one other thing that you can do. There's one other thing that's kind of cool about Endura. They have something called Super Cat. And if you had because you spray Endura, and the next day it's still, you can leave a fingerprint. But if you add Super Cat, now you don't add too much. You don't want to make your paint brittle. You don't, anyhow, you add a couple drops to a mixed liter, and it dries way quicker. And you don't need to go, oh, I wonder if I should add 7 or 8 drops. You could do that, but boy, you better get it cleaned out of your gun in a hurry. It's that quick. So, this is the mixed liter. Basically shiny white. I'm gonna go in there. I won't bother showing you the spraying of this, but I kind of think this is a good idea. I like white under the dash. I also, it saves me a lot of masking to just go ahead and spray everything in the area, and then it's way quicker to lightly scuff it. Okay, that's about 800 milliliters. Now, I think an American quart is 900. Doesn't matter. Anyhow, this couple do it. It's good stuff. Oh, where's my lid? Yes. So the next step after we do all this is we prep the floor and paint inside and out. Okay. I shall show you when I get this sprayed. Okay, that's a done deal. Painted. It looks good. I added a little bit of the Super Cat. Not too much. Gotta clean the gun because it's Endura. Well, it's a tough one. Okay. So, I just talked to Lyle. He's actually at the Rush Bros right now. Well, he's in the area. Stopped in with Salt Lake. So he's going to bring his frame up about 10, 14 days. We're going to have the frame here. The body's going to be ready to set down on it. And then we're ready to rock and roll. So once I paint the floor on the inside, then I get the body out of the booth, and I take the doors, trunk, tailgate, and other pieces in, and I start painting inners. Because we can go ahead and paint our inners and get that all done. Put it on the car. Because Cassidy got all the bodywork ready. So now we can just go right ahead. And hopefully at that point, I was talking to Cassidy last night, kind of hoping she's available to help do the final prep. So we are on our way. It's taken far too long. There's been many other things going on. All good. We'll allude to all that stuff later on. Again, thanks for checking in. And cheers to you folks. Okay. There. White. Looks pretty good. I just got to sand it. Dash. Dash looks really good. Oh yeah. Blade scuff. And the big thing, white, 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 we can see everywhere. I'm gonna have to go in and touch up with the touch-up gun. But at least now, I can see what I've got. And our next step is the floor and underneath with rock guard. And the glove box sitting up there all nice. So there was the method to the madness. Now we do the floor. And soon, Lyle will be here.